What's up, everyone? And today I'm bringing a deck profile on my Hieratics. Now, this deck's gotten a little bit better since the last time I made a profile on it. And by better, I mean Bestials exist now, which when I made my last Hieratic deck profile, they did not. So let's get right to it. Now, the Hieratics still have a lot of problems with this deck that, unfortunately, even the Bestials can't really cover, and that's their Hieratics themselves. First, I run 3 Eset. Eset can be normal summon without tributing. Special Erosion type becomes 1000. And when this card is tributed, you can special summon one dragon normal monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard, make its attack and defense 0. All the Hieratic have that secondary effect to when they are tributed to summon a vanilla dragon. Also run 3 Hieratic Seal, which can special summon itself by tributing a Hieratic monster, and 3 Tefnut, which if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card from the hand. Now, the one downside with Hieratics is that they're all high leveled, so you have to see them very specifically. Like if you're going first and you just open up Tefnut, nothing you can really do. Or if you just open up the Sue and no other Hieratics, still nothing you can really do. I think what they need is like maybe a level 4 or lower monster that could just be normal summoned to really that has effect to or contribute itself to summon a Hieratic from hand. Honestly, if they had something like that, this deck would be a lot better, but unfortunately, that doesn't exist yet. I run 1 Hieratic Seal of the Sun Dragon Overlord. It's a rank 8, not a rank 8, a level 8. And the Hieratics also have an effect when the secondary effect activates to summon this, all the monsters on the field become that level. So it helps you get into your rank 8s. Now for the Bestials, I run 3 Lubellion and 3 Magnahut. Lubellion, you can special summon by tributing 1 level 6 or higher Dark Dragon monster. More or less, you use it to send itself to the graveyard to search one of your other Bestials. But sometimes it can come up as far as adding the branded regained. Magnahut, when it's summoned during the end phase, you can add a dragon to your hand. You can also special summon it by banishing a light or dark from either graveyard. And if your opponent has a monster, you can do that. This is a quick effect. Also run the 1 Baldrake. Baldrake, same summoning condition as the Magnahut, but it's got an additional effect that if your opponent special summons a Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, Exorcy, and or Link monster, you tribute one other light or dark monster, target one of those special summon monsters, banish it. So this one's definitely a good card to add on the end phase off of Magnahut. Also run the 1 Sornaire, another pretty solid Bestial. I do run a bit of a Chaos package with 3 Safert. You can send any number of dragon monsters from hand and or face of field to the graveyard to add a dragon monster from a deck to hand whose level equals the total original level of those monsters. But the secondary effect I like much more. You can banish this card from the graveyard to target 1 level 8 light or dark monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Also run the 1 Collapsed Serpent and the 1 Wyvern Buster. Each of them can banish the opposite attribute of themselves and summon, and when they are sent to the graveyard, they can add each other to the hand. Also run the 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. I don't really need to explain much why I run the Metal Dragon, just that's a really good card for dragons, even now that it has a hard once per turn. Moving to the spells, I run 3 Seal of Conviction and 3 Seal of Supremacy. Conviction can add a Hieratic monster, and Supremacy special summons a Hieratic monster from hand. The cool thing is that neither of these are once per turn, so if you see 3 Conviction, you can use 3 of them. Also run the 1 Branded Regain, which you can get off the Lubellion. I run 3 copies of Chaos Space for the Chaos Engine. It's also got a little bit of draw power situationally. I also run 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity. We don't use a whole lot of our extra deck. A lot of the extra deck is just situational. I'll say maybe there's 4 or 5 monsters that we really use. And if we have to banish other copies, we can just use other monsters. I also run 2 copies of Ready Fusion, actually. More so if we're not able to draw into the E-set or have a way of searching the A-set, then Ready Fusion can help with getting the Tefnut onto the field. Also run 2 copies of Dragon Ravine. It's a soft once per turn foolish for dragons, which is definitely really good. So you can fill up your graveyard with lights or darks depending on whether you want to use the Chaos monsters or the Bestials. So Dragon Ravine is definitely really good in this deck. Moving on to the extra deck, I run the 2 copies of Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. Hieratic Seal is pretty good. Basically, when it's got a quick effect, you contribute 1 other monster from your hand or field, return 1 face-up card on the field to the hand. And if this card is tributed, you can special summon 1 dragon monster from your hand or deck, makes its attack and defense 0. So that can definitely be a pretty good situationally. Obviously, you really want it for that bounce effect. Also run 1 Guard Dragon Pisty. the only guard dragon that is not banned, because Agripane and Lee have been banned. I feel like it's just a matter of time that eventually Pissy will probably join the ban. Just gotta find a way to abuse it. Also run D1, Dragon D Knight Romulus. Romulus is a good way to get you to your Dragon Ravine so you can help set up your graveyard. Also run D1 Blocker. I mainly run it just for the arrows, so you can replace this with any card that has an arrow pointing downward. I run 1 Nightmare Unicorn to go into Axis Goat Talker. I also run an Apollosa. Now, for the Ready Fusion, as you already saw, I run a copy of Rare Fish for it. For Synchros, I run 1 Hieratic Dragon King of Autumn. Autumn, once per turn, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card, special a dragon type monster from your deck, and its attack and defense becomes 0. Now, the attack and defense 0 is by no means anything to worry about, but being able to special summon a dragon type monster from your deck is definitely pretty good. You can summon the Rise Darkness Metal Dragon, you can summon one of your Bestials, so you definitely got a lot of uses out of it. Also run the 1 Heliopolis. When your opponent activates a card effect that targets a card on your field, your graveyard, and your banished cards. Quick effect, detach the material to negate the activation if you do destroy it. So this could definitely be pretty useful, and also it's a way to counter cards like Crow, Imperm, and Effect Veiler. I also run 2 of the Hieratic Sun Dragon. Once per turn, detach material from this card. Tribute any number of monsters from your hand or field, then destroy an equal number of cards on the field. So just destroy cards from that you control to destroy the same number from your opponents, which could definitely be pretty good. Also run the 1 Dingirsu. It's pretty good generic rank 8. As well as Photon, Strike Bouncer, and Follow of the Dredge Dragons. There are situations where you can summon at level 6, like most of the like Magmuts level 6, as well as the Hieratics. Well, at least Sue and Tough Nut are level 6, so the rank 6s do come up occasionally. That was my Hieratic deck profile. What do you think of Hieratic? I think it's a pretty good deck. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video I make. Bye.